Exactly. It makes all the sense in the world for the Bears for the reasons that you said. And also, just want to just go into DJ Moore's numbers a little deeper, too. Look, you would think that Ben Johnson arrives. He's an offensive guru. He's a head coach. He's the play caller. Oh, everybody's going to do better with Ben Johnson there at the controls. Well, the running game certainly was fantastic. That 1-2 punch of Monangai and Swift. I mean, DeAndre Swift, they were great. Running game, great. Offensive line really cleaned that up from 2024, where it struggled. The offensive line in 2025 was great. Luther Burden came on. Colston Loveland came on. Caleb Williams came on. Who are we missing? DJ Moore under Ben Johnson was even worse. He was even worse, even though he played all those games, as you said, Mike. He was even worse in 2025 than he was in 24. So, yeah, the numbers are a part of it, but also the production. He just wasn't a fit for whatever reason. I don't know if it was a personality clash. I don't know if he feels like he's got to be that top volume guy. You saw the numbers up there on the chart where he had back-to-back seasons of over 90 catches. And I don't think Ben Johnson saw him that way, and Caleb Williams certainly didn't see him that way. Now, he leaves Chicago with one of the great plays I've ever seen to end the game against their rival. I mean, that catch against the Packers to end the game, awesome. But it clearly was going the other way, and it makes sense, I guess, for Buffalo. I guess. And the only reason I say that, Mike, with Buffalo is you have Alec Pierce on the market, coming on the market for Josh Allen. So you got a guy who can run by anybody in the league, and you got one of the great deep ball throwers in football in Josh Allen. So I don't know how they evaluated Alec Pierce, but no Pierce. So they take more over Pierce, potentially. They take more over A.J. Brown, potentially, and they stick with DJ Moore. I don't know. I think if I'm really pushing for the Super Bowl, as Buffalo is, I want the best option for my all-world quarterback. I don't think DJ Moore is their best option.
Well, a couple of points. And before I get there, I want to mention that from the financial perspective, the Bears were looking at paying more, $23.485 million this year, fully guaranteed. And there was another partial guarantee for 2027 that kicked in next Friday, another $15.5 million. They were looking at nearly $39 million in full guarantees to more that they've now avoided, and they free up that money, dollars and cap space. 23,465 this year, and the 15.5 next year. That's gone. That's off the books for a guy that no longer was fitting into the broader structure. A guy who, dollar for dollar value, we weren't getting the return on what we will be paying because we got these younger guys, we got these other guys. We get more from them for what we're giving to them. As it relates to the Bills, you mentioned Alec Pierce. You mentioned A.J. Brown. We talked a lot about tampering in the last segment. My guess is that Brandon Beane, the GM of the Bills, knew when he turned the key on the DJ Moore trade. And, by the way, none of these trades are official until Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, at which time both teams have to put the key in and turn it. If it doesn't happen, there's no violation. There will be hurt feelings and frayed relationships, and they're going to have to work through that. But, people get over things. But either team can walk away. Somebody can come along with a better deal for the Bears than what the Bills offered. And the Bears could say to the Bills, sorry, we're not going to do this. And the Bills would be very pissed off. But there's no rules violation if it happens because it's not done until Wednesday. But I would suspect that Brandon Beane knew exactly what it's going to take to get Alec Pierce. When the market's $40 million and Alec Pierce is going to be hitting the open market after leading the NFL in yards per catch for the last 2 years, and when you factor in what Jesse Minter told us last week at the Combine about how, in his view, and the way the league's going, things like turnovers don't mean nearly as much. Turnover margin doesn't mean nearly as much as explosive plays gained and explosive plays allowed. You get a guy who's averaging 20 yards a catch, that's a weapon. So they know what that's going to cost. They know what that's going to cost to get Alec Pierce. And they presumably have called Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles, because he told me last week he's not going to hang up the phone. He's going to talk. And there's been reporting on what the Eagles are looking for, a Quinnen Williams-type package, a 1 and a 2. So we give up a 2, we get back a 5, and we get a guy who played for 2 years with Joe Brady, the new head coach of the Bills, when Brady was the offensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. So, to the extent that free agency brings this concern of acquiring a guy sight unseen and we don't know him, he's available, we want him, we like his film, we like his production, we think we'll get along with him, we think everything we've heard is positive or we wouldn't be doing it. That's a far cry from, hey, I had this guy for 2 years. This is exactly who we want. We're trying to take this receiving core to the next level. This is exactly who we want. So it lines up perfectly. And to the extent that DJ Moore isn't banging on anyone's door for an increase, at least for now. I mean, I've seen all he's gotten is an additional guarantee for 2027, partial guarantee of another $15.5 million. He gets exactly $23,485 each of the next 4 years. The market's $40, and it's going to be going up. Now, by next year, DJ Moore might be saying, we got to talk about my contract.
Yeah,
but for
right
now,
20,
when you consider the market and the total payout this year is $23,485, that's not a bad deal for the Buffalo Bills, and it gives them someone their head coach knows.
I guess it's not a bad deal for a receiver who, let's go back to DJ Moore, 2000. It's not a bad deal for 2023 DJ Moore. It is still an overpay for 2025 DJ Moore, because if you say that the top of the market is 40 and he is almost half that, well, he's played like a pretty average receiver in 2025, average to even below average at times. So if he gets that bounce back year, as you said, Mike, bounce back year in Buffalo, playing with Josh Allen, and he gets back to the numbers that Joe Brady remembers, and that he established that first year in Chicago, yeah, he probably will be looking for a new contract. But I wonder, Mike, and I hope I get the radio station right. I think it's WGAR. Is it WGAR in Buffalo where Brandon Beane did that interview?
WGR.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did that interview where he's listening, he's on the line as the host are talking about their receivers. Hey, how does Brandon Beane not upgrade the receivers? And he comes on, hey, I heard you guys. What are you talking about? Our offense is great. What do you want us to do? I like our receivers. Maybe you might want to call up those hosts and say, hey, guys, you were right. It's at least an acknowledgement. It's acknowledging something that everybody except Brandon Beane saw a while ago. You got Josh Allen, and you have some nice complementary receivers in Buffalo. I like Khalil Shakir a lot as a number 2 or number 3. They didn't have a number 1, and they kept searching and searching and failing. They brought in Amari Cooper. That didn't work. I mean, last year they got Brandon Cooks, who's on his, 7th, 8th team, whatever it is. They need somebody. They need an established number 1. I'm not sure they got it here in DJ Moore. He was. I'm not sure he's that guy anymore. But at least Brandon Beane is saying, yeah, we got to do it. And if he won't come out and say it, his actions speak for him, because they gave up a lot to get this play.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.